Welcome everybody here in a session in which we'll be discussing RCs in English, reading comprehensions, one of the most important aspects of, I should say, any examination, and of course for SSC examinations also. We have many examinations pending, that means they are going to be there, especially emphasizing SSC CGL Tier 2. The level of which is moderate, I would say. I won't say every RC asked in SSC CGL Tier 2 is that difficult. Sometimes they go easy, sometimes they are moderate. Very few times we come across some difficult RCs there in examinations, in SSC if I say about. Before I start the session, I'll make you solve 3 RCs in this class, and the level is, once again I say, going to be moderate. In general, what happens, I always keep on saying this in my classes, that how to score maximum in RCs. And before that, the problem with RCs these days is people are, that's natural. I hope you agree to this. I hope you agree to this. That's natural. People are nowadays using WhatsApp, using Instagram, using TikTok and such, which are a part and parcel of our lives for sure. But at the same time, they are reducing our attention span in a manner like we for 15 seconds watch somebody has got selected. Wow, come on, that's cool. Whoa, 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 man. India lost the game. Oh my god. Your mind changes instantly in seconds. This attention span used to be for months or weeks back 100 years ago when people only used to study or write books. Some 50 years ago, because of cinema, we have the attention span in hours. 3 hours we watch a cinema, a movie, and we stay there in that scenario, totally concentrating over there. But once we come out of the movie, we just get busy in the lives also. Nowadays that is just in seconds. I hope you agree to what I say, that we have the attention span getting reduced on a daily basis. So I request all of you just to concentrate the maximum you can. That's the best part. Retain the information. Just don't divert yourself in between reading an RC at home as well, in attempting mock tests as well. That's how you will practice to score the max you can in examinations. And yes, when you go ahead, sometimes students say that, so this is an RC, a 2-page RC, for example, 2-slide RC. We have to go through the RC again and again to find the answers. Make some keywords. I repeat, make some keywords. For example, that's a 2-page RC here on 2 slides. Then please make sure whatever is marked here in the initial 3-4 lines, you just get the crux of that, the sum and substance, what the author is willing to say here. Then here, what the author is willing to say. You have a couple of keywords for 1 slide. Turn on the next slide. You have something here. Just grab the information what is marked here and just grab the information what is marked here. So next time you come across a question from the same RC, you need not go through the first line again and again and reading both the slides, the whole of the RC. No, you know that was discussed in the first slide, in the second slide, where in the RC it was marked. You have a clear idea, a clear picture. So you just go through a couple of lines, 3-4 lines sometimes, not the whole RC. I hope you got my point. In the same fashion, many RCs are positive, many are negative, some change their tone in between. Just ask yourself or give this information to yourself that whenever you read a line, the next line supports the previous statement, it opposes the previous statement and such. And that's how you can improve RCs a lot. I know words spoken by me were quite casual, but they mean a lot. Let's head on to the class. Before I start, I must say, in case you feel any difficulty, query, question in between the session, you can ask or put your doubts in the comment section. Either me or my assistant will answer you shortly. He's a Here is the first one, asked in SSC examination in 2023. I'm not teaching obsolete RCs. You have something from the recent years. Go through this first and we will discuss the questions then. Once done, drop a message in the live class, people who are watching it live, or later you can skip a little. I'll show you the questions. Done. Done. I hope yes. Let's discuss the questions. Although that's a whole RC, and I think you better know that in SSC examinations we sometimes come across very short RCs, sometimes the moderate ones, sometimes a little longer also. We will discuss all of those. This is a one-page RC. Next one may be short, long. We will see that. I'm sure you have uh, gone through the sum and substance of this passage. Sustainable utensils are proving to be a crucial tool in collective efforts toward building a greener, more environmentally conscious world. These utensils, often made from renewable resources, just like this or that, offer a number of benefits. So I think the tone is positive. Firstly, they offer some benefits. They reduce our reliance on single-use plastics, which is used for convenience, contributes to vast amount of waste that end up in landfills and oceans, polluting it. It changed theme in between. That was positive. This is negative. Okay. By switching to sustainable alternatives, we can minimize this environmental damage. Plus, that's not negative. The next line, if I be precise here. Secondly, they are biodegradable or compostable, meaning they can break down. That's what I wanted to show you, that a passage changes theme in between. That was positive, negative, positive again. Um, they can break down naturally over time. This ensures even if they do not end up in landfills, they won't persist for centuries like plastic does. Instead, they return to the earth without leaving a lasting negative impact. These can be reused multiple times, totally positive. Further reducing waste, many options are durable and washable, making them a viable long-term solution. Ending positive, starting positive, something in between. And of course, you better know what they are talking about. Talking about environment, talking about some sustainable utensils, also those plastic cutlery which creates a lot of wastage and such. Let's head on to the questions. You answer first, I'll explain. Based on the information provided in the passage, which is not an example of sustainable. First thing, you can talk about the others, but they have clearly marked that sustainable cutlery is going to be, say, contributing to greener and environmentally conscious world. That means it will contribute to the environment. But here we have a keyword which they have discussed here in the passage, the plastic one, which I marked as the red flag. If I say the plastic cutlery, okay, traditionally used for convenience, contributes to waste that end up in landfills, oceans, polluting ecosystem and harming environment, if I say. So based on the info provided, which is not an example of sustainable, that's not, that is contributing to waste, to harming the marine life and all. So obviously plastic cutlery has to be the answer. Next. Somehow such, what distinguishes sustainable utensils from plastic cutlery? They are made from non-renewable. No, the passage says they are made from renewable. So the first one is not the answer. They are more expensive. Throughout the passage, they haven't talked about those sustainable ones being expensive. They have not. If you think somewhere it is marked, you can correct me. They have a shorter lifespan, who says, making them a viable long term solution. So they don't have a short lifespan. But yes, of course, they have a lower environmental impact. On the other hand, the plastic ones harm the environment. They are more environmentally conscious. So that's better. They have lower environmental impact. They are not environmental, I should say, harming, but they are environmental friendly in that way. Objections welcome. As per the tone of the passage, which is not a characteristic of sustainable utensils. Sustainable. Really? Have a look again. It is marked here. Sustainable utensils are biodegradable. So you can't say biodegradability. They have asked which is not. Did you answer which is? Of course, they are biodegradable, so cannot be the answer. They can be reused, so that cannot be the answer. Instead, they return to Earth. The long-lasting negative impact, they can be reused. They are biodegradable, and they have the long-term solution. They are durable, we can say. So which is not there? They are renewable, not non-recyclable. They can be used again. You can't say they are non-recyclable. They are recyclable. So that's not a characteristic of sustainable utensils. Such questions trouble a lot of students. What's the main focus of the passage? What's the theme of the passage? What's the tone of the passage? In this session, I'll make you solve such questions also. Just eliminate. First your answer and then I will mark. See, the importance of sustainable alternatives. They are talking about sustainable utensils, not their alternatives. Cannot be the answer. The benefits and harms of single use plastic throughout the passage, they haven't talked about plastic. The first thing, that's not the main focus. Not the main focus. They talked about those sustainables here. Plastic was used as an example that that's not good. It's harming the marine life. It's polluting the ecosystem. So that's not the main focus they are discussing. No, you cannot say. And they haven't talked about the benefits of plastic. They have just talked about the harms. The environmental benefits of sustainable utensils, of course, they are talking about that. The economic benefits of sustainable utensils, they are not talking about how they benefit economy of a nation, but of course, the environment benefits conscious, they contribute to the greener and more environmentally conscious world, the sustainable one. So that's the main emphasis, the environmental benefits of sustainable utensils, not their cost, nothing else. Okay, last. Straight from the passage, you can mark. Such are the straight questions directly marked in the passage. Obviously, that has been clearly marked out there. This and that, plant based, like cornstalk, bamboo, and such. So plastic and aluminium, no. Ceramic and wood, no. Metal and glass, but bamboo and this cornstalk is directly marked there. The answer. Don't look at the size of the passage. I know that it seems quite easy. Huh? That's an RC. You're kidding? Trust me, you can search on Google. This is asked in SSC 2023. But that's a good one. That's a good one. Trust me. Have a look quickly. I'll explain. Done. Sure, done. Huh? Let's discuss step by step. Trust me, as I said, you are going to see now. It is of just 4 to 5 lines or a mix of 6 or 7. The questions are good. First one, judge this. What's the style of the passage? What's the tone of the passage? Not the direct lines like who said, who had high mental, who gave birth to, in which university it was conducted. No. What's the tone of the passage? The style of the passage? You answer first, I'll explain. See, classification is to classify, put into classes. Like noun can be classified into two categories: concrete noun, abstract noun, and that way. We are not classifying things into their categories: proper noun, common noun, collective noun, transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree, and such. We are not classifying things, not distributing them in that way. They are quite close. Expository is the one which exposes. Okay. Yep, they are exposing, they are making you aware of something, revealing information. Of course, they are narrative. Someone can say it's narrative. Here, if you go through the passage, you can't think about any narration. Remember, he said, comma, inverted commas, and this. Remember narration? Either the direct narration or the indirect narration. Throughout the passage, nobody's saying something, nobody's marking somebody else's words. Like he said that he was not able to go there, so I went there, and he said, I cannot do this, and such. You cannot see any narrative keywords here. So that's not narrative. Now, quite close competition between being expository and being descriptive. Descriptive, this is also descriptive, this is also expository, but I think it's revealing information, which is a better choice if I say. On the other hand, the one which describes is like, I went to the room was gloomy, it was poorly lit. Defining the room, describing the room. It had a couple of fans, it had an AC, it had a glass which was broken, it had a bed on which there was no bed sheet, it had a laptop on a table and a camera, etc. It had a sofa set. That's descriptive if you define something. On the other hand, we're not defining things, we are actually revealing information that if you do this, you can get this. If you did do this, it will happen. If you do this, it may happen and such. So it's better to say that that's expository, the answer. Honestly, I repeat, this is asked in SSC 2023. That was a good one. Next. What can we infer from the passage? Up to you. Nurses' intervention reduce vulnerability to fear in pregnant mothers. What? They are not talking about reducing the vulnerability of reducing fear in the mothers. That is talking about them in the children. In a study, a group of nurses visiting pregnant mothers after they gave birth, they made 20 visits before the children turned 2 years. When the benefits to the children were studied, they found the children were emotionally less vulnerable to fear. Who? Children were emotionally less vulnerable to fear. You can't say nurses' intervention reduce vulnerability to fear in mothers. That is about children. No. Control group without nurses' support have relatively elevated mental development. You should drop this out here. Control group with nurses support have relatively elevated high mental development. You can see that here in the next lines. Who had support, higher mental development, those who had the support. Some children learn languages quickly. Of course they do. But what about the RC? The RC is not saying some children randomly learn languages quickly, and not only languages. They are saying those with control group can learn things quickly, not just because of, say, languages, we can say, but the community support throughout the passage you have seen plays an important role in offering support to the mothers, which in turn help their children. The fourth one. The first one is wrong, second one is wrong, third one is not dependent on the passage. Some children learn languages quickly. What about the support that they give to the mothers? The community plays important role in offering support, which summarizes the passage. They are not asking any question directly. Every question is, say, indirect. Pregnant women are emotionally less. Come on, they're not talking about women vulnerable to fear, talking about children. Nurses should visit pregnant mothers regularly. No, but those who visited them, their children had some better benefits. No. Community support is important in the emotional development of a child. Yep, that's what they are talking about. Not only for 2 years, but also after 15 years, those children represented some or showed some greater stuff. Observed even after 15 years, this simple intervention of the nurses' support, that was so a better choice. Study on nurses have impact even after 15 years. No, no, no. They have impact on children even after 15 years. Not the nurses or the study has impact even after 15 years. The third one, hmm, which is not, sorry, the antonym of the word unsusceptible. Yep, directly if I say. There are three words I usually say in my classes: vulnerable, which can be harmed; susceptible, I'm saying susceptible, not unsusceptible, which can be harmed; prone, which can be harmed. They are synonymous. And once you say unsusceptible, that's going to be the flat antonym of the word vulnerable. Approximately something different. Development is something different. Intervene, interfere is totally different. Susceptible, vulnerable, prone. Opposite goes unsusceptible. So that's the antonym, flat. What's the suitable title of the passage? Judge this. I'm sorry. They have asked, accept this. You can, which statement best summarizes the passage? What you can infer from the passage? No direct question. What's the tone of the passage? And the last one, not the least one, which is the title of the passage. They have asked every single thing such. No question directly from the passage. You answer first. I think quite easy now, just because of those 4 or 5 lines. Say what? Yes, yes, yes. The title of the passage: social support and its benefits, maybe; control group in the nurses, maybe; interventions of the nurses, okay; pregnant mothers and nurses, maybe. We have all the keywords in the passage. So which one is the most suitable title of the passage? Answer such questions from keeping any third person's point of view that if you tell him those couple of words, say here, he will be able that this has been discussed in the passage. Judge this in the opposite manner. If I say pregnant mothers and nurses, will he be able to infer that after 2 years, those children, those pregnant mothers, the nurses supported, they were vulnerable to less vulnerable to fear, and not only for after 2 years, after 15 years, we can see the benefits out there. No, it may be because pregnant mothers need some help and nurses are helping them. Nothing about children, nothing about those benefits. Interventions of the nurses, fine, but that may be positive, that may be negative. The passage is positive. Control group and the nurses, fine, but what? Nothing about the children? See, the social support may be to anyone. This is an example: mother, children, nurses, and most important thing is its benefits. Objections? Heartily welcome. Now, you may be worried about the size of the passages. Let's have a big one asked in SSC CGL, SSC 2023, I would say. Have a look at this one. We have another slide. Once you are done, drop a message. I'll show. We have the rest half. Let's have a look at that. Once done, dropping message and I'll start. Done. I think yes. Let's head on to the questions. Meanwhile, in case you need a slide, we should need a slide in order to confirm the answer this, instead of answering wrong, the first one. Yes, which is the most appropriate title of the passage? The Global Problem of Cybercrime. Fine, not bad, but you are asked the most appropriate, not just one. Cybersecurity measures for individuals and organizations, but before that, the author has marked what are the cybersecurity problems for which we can have the measures. Types of cybercrime and their effects. Yes, of course, he has marked. Role of governments in combating, but first of all, he has marked what cybercrimes are and their effects out there. If you go through the passage, you will come across every single type of cybercrime he has marked in detail. See, types of attacks, not just putting the word out here. Cybercrime refers to this, completely defining it, then including hacking, phishing, ransomware, identity theft, and all. He has discussed all of them. Hacking, where this and this happens. Then he's talking about phishing is another common type of cybercrime. These can do this or that. Ransomware attacks. You are still not talking about government, its role, combating cybercrimes, nothing such. He's defining all of them first. Hmm? Apart from this, he continues, they can be such and such identity theft, all those he marked there. So first of all, hacking, then talking about say phishing, then the ransomware, then identity theft. He's defining all of them completely. This can be particularly damaging for this and that. That's a global fraud problem that affects individuals, businesses, even the governments alike, and such, creating losses and all. So a couple of lines like government needs to do this and that is not the main emphasis. The passage defines different types of cybercrime and their effects. Role of government is to tackle them. First of all, he has defined them for 1.5 slides. Huh? Cybersecurity measures will be taken when we know what the problem is. Global problem is there, but he's defining them first. So that's a better, most appropriate title of the passage. What is phishing? You can watch the slides in case you want. Somewhat like that. Somewhat like that. See, what is phishing? That's a type of identity theft when cyber criminals steal someone's personal information to access financial accounts. Let's go straight to the passage. It'll define itself. What is phishing? Phishing is another common form of cybercrime that involves tricking people into providing personal information of log or the login credentials. Done. Phishing involves tricking people into providing personal information or the login credentials. So it tricks people into providing personal information or login credentials. It's an identity theft where criminals steal someone's personal information to access financial accounts. I don't think so. Phishing involves tricking people into providing personal information or login credentials marked straight in the passage. That's what I said. That tiny one, the second passage we discussed, had inference, had the most appropriate title, tone, etc. Every single thing such was there. No direct answer. This two-page RC has direct answers. So don't judge a book by its cover, they say. The third one. Which of the following are given in the passage? Identity theft cannot result in significant financial losses. It does. Cybercrime affects only individuals and not businesses alike, if you remember. Phishing is a type of cybercrime that involves locking a victim's computer. Hacking is a type of cybercrime that gives hackers access to the sensitive information. Let's verify. Hacking, where is hacking? Criminal gains unauthorized access to a computer system or the network. So it's better. Hacking gives hackers the access to the sensitive information. Rest of them are opposite, which describes the tone of the passage. Confrontational, humorous, sarcastic, informative. No confrontation is going on here. Face to face, we have debates or anything such, nothing such. We don't have humorous for laughter and fun things in the passage. They are talking about the serious issues. We don't have sarcasm also. Hmm. If your name is Kapil, that Kapil Dev, okay, that doesn't define you have won the World Cup, huh? If your name is Justin, that doesn't mean you are the one who is famous for baby, baby, and such and such. Sarcasm. We always play with our friends on a daily basis, talking to them sarcastically. No sarcasm here, but yes, they are providing lot of information about hacking, phishing, identity theft, hacking, and many such, all the cyber crimes possible and everything possible such. Nothing such, and yep, of course, here. And the last one. Which of these can be inferred from the passage? Three. Some are saying two. Okay, we will discuss this tomorrow. I leave this up to you. People who are watching this later can drop your answers in the comment section. It will be discussed tomorrow. To know this, see the next episode. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, up to you. Up to you. Up to you. Time is up. Would love to see you tomorrow at the same time here. Thank you so much. People who are new here can subscribe to the channel for much more content you get on a daily basis here. We have many classes. You can catch us on the app as well for the paid ones also, targeting different examinations. And yes, you are requested to connect with us on Telegram. Would love to see you out there. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. And for next 30 seconds, any query question is all welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks a lot. You can drop your doubts for next 30 seconds. Thanks everybody watching it live, everybody watching it later. Thank you. Do subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Yes, of course, tomorrow at the same time. Okay, done. See you. Thank you.